Hello, my name is Mr. Cadella, and today I'm going to show you how to do a visual thinking strategies critique, also known as a VTS critique. This type of critiquing method was developed to help us thoughtfully analyze artwork by using the image itself. We don't have the title of the artwork, we don't have the artist's name, or even the time in which it was made. And this VTS critique method was developed because many people actually do not thoughtfully look at artwork. So we're going to learn how to do that in this video. We have an image in front of us, and I'm going to model the VTS critiquing method. So we see several characters and really even several groups of people here. We see on the left-hand side some children, and on the right-hand side we see some adults. Let's go ahead and start with the children. The children seem to be wearing kind of poor clothing. Maybe it looks like from the 1800s. In fact, all of them seem to be wearing clothes from the 1800s. And most of them seem to have fairly tattered and dirty clothes. Maybe these are work clothes, or maybe these are peasants or poorer people. We see that this girl, who is the only person that we can't see her face quite clearly, is holding a little baby boy or a little baby girl. Maybe it's her little brother or sister. We notice that she isn't wearing any shoes as well. We see two boys. One boy has his arm wrapped around another, and maybe these are brothers or maybe they're just friends. But what's interesting is, although they seem to be very close physically, with the one boy wrapping his arm around another like they're friends, they are very detached. One boy is looking off to the left-hand side, and one boy is looking off at the right-hand side. So they aren't even looking in the same place. Now, the man in the middle with the violin and the violin bow is looking directly at us. He has sort of disheveled hair, he has sort of bedraggled clothes, he has a torn and tattered up little satchel on the ground, or we can at least assume that is his satchel. And we see that his fingers are poised on the violin like he's getting ready to play, or he has just finished playing the violin. And he again looks directly at the viewer as if to invite us into this scene. The gentlemen on the right hand side are dressed in sort of fancy clothes, but if you look closely at the bottom of the pants of the man wearing the top hat, the bottom of his pants are kind of tattered too, and one of his feet is stepping forward like he's getting ready to step towards the older man or step towards us as the viewer, or maybe he's tapping his toe to the music that had been played. And of course, like I said, he's wearing a top hat, so it's kind of a fancier type clothing. But the man on the right hand side, the far right hand side, seems to be wearing the fanciest clothing of all, with a nice robe and a cane in his hand, and he's sort of wearing a turban on his head. He seems to be officiating over this type of scene. Maybe he's some type of authority figure. And we see that this, of course, is outside. We see it is on kind of a brighter day, but there seems to be kind of storm clouds rolling in, and this bright, kind of stark, almost theater type lighting being cast upon these characters and creating harsh shadows that we see in this painting. And it makes me wonder, when I look at all these details with the poverty and the kind of torn up clothes and it being outside and the incoming storm cloud that we can assume is happening in the background, we see this and there seems to be something a little off about this painting, something deeply psychological. Maybe there seems to be some type of story here as well. Maybe this is a father in the middle with the violin playing one last song for his children, and as he's getting ready to leave them, as he departs with these gentlemen on the right hand side. Maybe it's a traveling musician who came upon this group of people and he felt sorry for them because they were poor like him too, and so he plays a song for them. And maybe these people are just brought together by the joy of music together, even before the storm rolls in, or maybe it's just after the storm. Maybe the storm is passing by. So he, in thankfulness, strikes up a song there. So we look at this picture and we can go down many roads, but we want to analyze thoughtfully what we see in this image. And if you're typing this online, you want to use at least one full paragraph. You can do more too, and also full sentences. Correct punctuation as well too is important. The incorrect way to do a VTS critique is to describe either verbally or to write down something like this: girl holding baby, two boys in the middle, man with violin, two guys with fancy clothes on right hand side. First, that isn't even a proper description of the painting because you left out other things like the background, the state of the clothes, maybe possible details like what kind of clothes they were wearing and what was going on in the background, but also those aren't even complete sentences. So you want to make sure you use complete sentences and again, a thoughtful analysis, a thoughtful description of what you see.